Good day, everyone. Attorney Brandon White here. On this channel, you're going to find valuable information on all different types of legal matters that our firm handles, split between different playlists. So if you're new here, smash that subscribe button, ring that bell so you don't miss any of the great videos and content that we're going to be putting out every week. I promise it'll be a lot of good info. Also, in the show notes in the description below, you're going to find important links to any of the resources that we mentioned in this video today. So be sure to check that out. So today, we're going to be talking about criminal speed. So let's get started. I'm joined today by our very own attorney, Jared Ahern, one of our traffic defense attorneys here at the firm. Hey, Jared.
Morning, Brandon.
How are you doing? How's your family during this epidemic and holding up?
Been good. Just hanging out at home and trying to help people any way we can.
I hear that. Well, I appreciate you joining us today. We're going to be talking about criminal speed, and it may seem basic, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. Would you agree?
There's a lot of misinformation out there, yes.
So let's talk about what criminal speed is in Arizona and how that may differ from civil speed.
Right. So a lot of people don't actually know there's two different types of speeding tickets you can get, at least in Arizona. Your typical speeding ticket, just a civil speeding ticket. You get pulled over doing 10, 15 over, whatever it may be. You can do your online traffic school and get the ticket taken care of. The other ticket are criminal tickets. Criminal tickets, there are two different types. The first of which you can get if you're speeding more than 20 miles an hour over the posted speed limit. And any speed that you're traveling over 85 miles an hour. 85 is the cap on speed in Arizona.
So sticking with criminal speed, what are some of the maximum consequences related to criminal speed? So if someone was to search this online, what's the maximum they could in theory get?
Right. So in Arizona, criminal speeding is a class 3 misdemeanor. It is the lowest level of misdemeanor in Arizona. The maximum penalties for a class 3 misdemeanor are up to 30 days in jail, up to 1 year probation, and fines float around $1,000. Now for criminal speeding, I wouldn't expect that to happen. Typically with criminal speeding, you're looking at most maybe 1 or 2 days of jail. Fines vary depending on the speed that you're traveling, and there's usually not probation involved, but it could be possible.
Would you agree? I mean, I find it myself in the cases that we've handled too here in the firm, but it can range depending on where they get the ticket and which court the ticket's out of. Would you agree?
Yes, so some courts are more strict than other courts. Other factors could be the speed you're going, traffic at the time, other things that are going on at the time you get stopped.
And sticking with criminal speed and how that's kind of different than civil, would you agree that there is a prosecutor assigned to the case? Is that a little different than what's a civil traffic speeding ticket?
Yes, this also varies a little bit by court, but typically with the civil ticket, there isn't really a prosecutor assigned. The only people involved would be you and the officer who cited you. So criminal tickets, because they are criminal, they are assigned to a prosecutor. So the state would have an attorney, and then the other parties involved would be you and the officer and your attorney if you had one. Now,
we've all heard the term traffic school, or in Arizona, we call that DDS, defensive driving school. When someone's facing a criminal speed ticket, for those that don't know out there, is traffic school an automatic right for them to complete it?
It actually is not. So like I said, most people, they get a speeding ticket and they just feel like they can take their class and get the ticket taken care of. For the criminal tickets, defensive driving school is not a right. It's not an automatic option that you have to get rid of the ticket. It's more involved. Like I said, this is a criminal citation rather than just a regular civil citation. So it's a little bit more difficult to deal with, and the penalties are obviously more severe.
So let's say those that are watching, they did receive a criminal speed ticket and they want to try for traffic school. Can they at least try for traffic school, and what happens on that process?
Yes, you can at least try. Again, like most things, this varies on the courts that you're in or what judge you're assigned. But what you can do is basically ask the court for them to allow you to do driving school. Really, the only person that has the power to let you do that is the judge. So you would be asking the judge directly. You wouldn't necessarily involve the prosecutor in this step.
Now, let's say someone takes that advice. They do try to ask the court for traffic school, and that motion or that request of the judge is denied. What are your options at that point?
Right. So ideally, it wouldn't be denied, and then you could do your course and move on. If it is denied, you really have a couple of options. Option number 1 would be to start negotiating with the prosecutor. Option 2 would be to go to trial. Those are really your only 2 real options if your motion for driving school has been denied.
So let's say, someone already exhausted the negotiation phase, whether they're representing themselves, which we don't recommend, but someone can, or they have an attorney and they've exhausted that whole negotiation. It looks like they're going to trial. What does the state have to prove at trial in order to win and find them guilty?
Right. So it has to prove that you were the driver. And then for speed, they would have to prove a few things related to your speed. 1, they have to prove that you're traveling at whatever speed it is they say you're traveling, whether it be anything over 85, something 20 over the speed limit, something like that. And the way that they prove that usually is they'll have some sort of document showing whatever instrument they use to measure your speed, whether it be their radar, their laser, something that shows the speed they think you're traveling. After that, they would go into some sort of training and qualifications, demonstrating that they're able to use those devices properly. And they also have to show that the devices have been calibrated and are working properly at the time you've been stopped.
What is the level of burden of proof in a misdemeanor case? Would you kind of go over that for people that don't know?
Again, different from a civil ticket. In a civil ticket, the judge basically has to just look at it and say, did this more likely happen than not happen?
Yeah.
And that's how civil tickets work. It's almost a coin flip. It's he said, she said type things.
Right.
In a criminal trial, the burden would be beyond a reasonable doubt, which would mean that the judge has to believe firmly that the officer's testimony is valid and has done enough to convince the judge beyond any doubt that you did in fact do the thing that the officer has said that you did.
Fair enough. So that's a big difference between civil and criminal. A lot of folks think that this is just a normal civil parking ticket, right?
Yes.
The differences between. Well, that's amazing, Jared. Anything else you want people to know out there about criminal speed?
About speeding in general, really. So we talked a lot about driving school here. Driving school can only be taken once a year. So if you've done it for one of your tickets and you get another ticket, your options as far as resolving that ticket do become more limited, as you can only take that class once every 12 months.
That's good info. Hey, thanks again for joining us. I appreciate you helping us educate those out there that receive these tickets. Hopefully they didn't, but if you do, they're more than welcome to give us a call. So I appreciate your time, Jared.
Of course. Have a good one, Brandon.
Thank you. Guys, that's some good information. Hope you found that valuable. We offer free strategy sessions. So if you or your loved one's facing a criminal speed ticket, civil speed ticket, pick up the phone, give us a call. It's 866-336-2078 or online at azticketlawyer.com. For now, it's attorney Brandon White, attorney Jared Ahern, signing off. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe.